Hello, I'm Professor Marsh. Welcome to Accounting 210 O at Newberry College in the spring of 2022, Principles of Financial Accounting. This is a user-oriented introduction to the financial accounting process, the analysis and interpretation of financial accounting information. This course emphasizes the objectives and format of general purpose financial statements, the major financing, investing, and operating activities of the typical firm, and how these activities are reflected in the general purpose financial statements. And during the semester, we will get into all of those topics. The course is designed to provide an introduction to financial accounting as the language of business. And it's going to emphasize the analysis and evaluation of accounting information from the perspective of both investors and managers in the processes of planning, decision-making, and control, including the basic accounting concepts and principles, as well as the structure of the income statement, the balance sheet, and the statement of cash flows, which are our three major financial statements. This course is going to cover the accounting for and analysis of the most common and significant business transactions that a business or other entity, other firm will have, such as credit sales, delivery of products and services, manufacturing processes, procurement, creation of operating infrastructure, including production facilities, intellectual property, goodwill, debt and equity financing, and other obligations toward customers, suppliers, and tax authorities. This course will be useful for students who will be using accounting information for investment decisions, considering strategy choices in manufacturing and service operations, or to shareholders, creditors, managers, and other stakeholders in business and other firms or other entities. The content of this course will be essential if you want to pursue a career in investment banking, financial analysis, consulting, general management, or those people who are entrepreneurial and thinking about starting their own businesses. And quite frankly, the concepts that you'll be learning, even if you go into government service, will be useful. There's many people that you often see in governmental positions who would certainly benefit from a better understanding of accounting concepts. Our former congressman, Mick Mulvaney, who was a trained economist and became the director of office and management and budget in the last administration, has a strong knowledge of accounting, which served him well in his government service. Certainly, any of the people who were involved in budgeting in public policy, whether on the legislative or the executive departments, need to know something about accounting as well. And quite frankly, the concepts that are in this class will serve you well in any discussion you have that involves profitability, rate of return, growth, financial stability, in whatever context you find it, whether it's business activities or public service or nonprofit activities, you should be able to find those tools and techniques helpful. With respect to employment, you're going to be learning some basic techniques of accounting, which will begin with bookkeeping. There'll be 14 weeks and 14 units. Each unit will have 1 to 3 lectures. Each lecture will cover 1 to 3 topics that are important in the textbook. And each unit will have a homework assignment and a quiz. Now, we won't turn in all of the homework assignments. We'll pick several of those to turn in, but I do want to be able to see how you're doing with the material and if you're staying on task, and if we need to provide any additional attention to topics that seem to be particularly difficult. But it's not. It's really the accounting is a subject which the math skills are really just addition, subtraction to begin with, and then a little multiplication and division as we get into more advanced concepts with finance or perhaps rates of return, return on investment and things of that nature. But it's very simple. It doesn't require at this level a lot of complicated math, and there's just a basic logic to it. And so each unit builds on the prior unit. We'll start with basic bookkeeping, and then we will get into creation of accounts. What is an account? Charts of accounts, general ledgers, trial balances, and into the creation of the financial statements themselves. And so you need to stay up with your work. I'll try not to do a lot of busy work, but I do want to make sure that I assign enough exercises to you so that you learn each step along the way, and so that your knowledge will build and you won't have a gap in it as you get to the more the more complex concepts as we pull together the creation of the financial statements. The course will be graded on a 700-point scale. Each of the 14 short quizzes will be 20 points. That's a total of 280 points. The homework, we'll probably collect 8 homework assignments during the semester at 5 points each, which will be 40 points. The midterm will be worth 120 points, and the final exam will be worth 260. And if you add that all up, you should get 700 points. What I will do is each week I will try to drop the lectures on YouTube and then provide links to you. And so keep up with the coursework and keep looking for those. There will be a homework assignment in Wolf Den each week. And those I'll give you, several days to do that. Probably those will be due the following Monday, so that those of you who are busy during the week will at least have the weekend to catch up. And then the quiz will probably be posted every Friday, and also due either Monday or Tuesday of the following week. All of these will be open book and open notes. Really my objective is not to, have any mysteries or any, I'm not trying to trick anyone. What I want to do is I want to get all of you into the position at which, when we finish the course, that if you decided that you wanted to work in a business, and there are many, many jobs for people who have accounting and bookkeeping skills, that is in very, very high demand. Now, oftentimes, that high demand is for people who are trained in the use of certain bookkeeping systems. The most common one is QuickBooks. We will not teach QuickBooks in this course, although I will try to give you some exposure to it. It's the sort of thing that once you learn the concepts in this class, you can self-study QuickBooks with its own tutorial and master it rather quickly. Or you can there are many proprietary courses that you can take that are a lot less expensive than the college course. and that will give you some proficiency in that skill. And you put that on your resume that you're familiar with QuickBooks, and chances are you will get a job offer. And I think that's something that, it's nice to have something that, if nothing else works out, at least you can start at an organization and work your way up from there. And oftentimes, some of you may want to go into finance and accounting, and starting out, in accounting and bookkeeping often leads to jobs in financial management, and then into top management. And so that's also a career path. Now, you may wonder who I am. I was an adjunct professor at Newberry College last semester. I taught 2 courses in the business department. I taught business ethics and fundamentals of management, principles of management. And I'm a CPA. I've been a CPA since 1982, licensed in North Carolina. I'm now in my North Carolina office. And I'm also, I have an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, which I got in a joint degree program. At the same time, I got my Juris Doctor, my law degree, from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I'm a lawyer who's licensed in 3 states, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. And I have the great good fortune and distinction to live in Newberry, South Carolina. So when I'm not here in my Charlotte office, I am in Newberry, living down very close to the college. I have an LLM in taxation, which is a graduate law degree focusing in taxation, and have my own law practice here, which I have run for the better part of 40 years, either in solo practice or with other partners. I am a former banker. I worked in the trust and financial department for the bank that is now known as Wells Fargo. It used to be First Union when I was there. And I'm a former bank teller. And that's particularly relevant to this class because I want to talk to you about being a bank teller. I became a bank teller when I was 16 years old. It was my summer job between junior and senior year in college. And I worked for one of the larger suburban banks up in northern New Jersey. And I was the drive-in teller at the at one of the branches. And I had assigned to me a cash drawer. And in that cash drawer was about $30,000 or $40,000. And I was responsible for each day preparing a balance worksheet in which I would have to account for every time I cashed a check, every time I took in a cash deposit, every time I took in a payment on a loan or a contribution to a Christmas savings account or saving account deposit. All of these people who purchased a savings bond, all of these transactions that came in and out of my cash drawer, I had to account for at the end of each day. And if I was off, if I didn't balance to the penny, I had to go to my manager with a difference ticket and get the manager to approve either the overage or the shortage. And that was highly embarrassing. So those of you who have checking accounts, periodically you balance your checkbook. And that is a type of accounting. And so we're going to learn a special type of accounting, a special type of balancing transactions that we use for financial accounting purposes. And We're going to learn the rules under a system which is called GAAP, Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. So by the time the semester is over, you will have learned a number of techniques for recognizing and identifying transactions, financial transactions that affect an enterprise, whether it's operating activities or if it's investing activities or financing activities. You'll have some skill in the techniques that are used to report those both internally within the company's books and then externally on the company's financial statements. So it's a valuable skill to learn. It's something that will help you in whatever activity you go into in business, or even if you don't go into business, it'll just help you in terms of your own personal financial management. So I look forward to sharing this semester with you, and keep watching in Wolf Den, and we will update things as we go along. I understand that I'm getting the overflow students from the two other sections. This will be an online course, and so we might not have as much personal interaction, but I do want us to have some interaction through Wolf Den as much as possible, and I will give you feedback as quickly as I can on a regular basis. So have a great evening, and we'll talk with you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.